What's up, YouTube? You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about these fake Muslims, right? And I want to talk about how one of my cousins, right? We had a fallout, right? And I just remembered that the dude had the nerve to tell me he's on a path of Soroto Mustaqim. This motherfucker is robbing, wheeling and dealing, and selling marijuana faster than the U.S. can sell milk. Let's talk about it. Bro told me he's on a path of Soroto Mustaqim while disrespecting me, telling me I got HIV. My mother this, my mother that. Rest in peace, her soul. Right? This the same bitch ass cousin that didn't know when iPhones first came out. My daughter went to the club, strip club on 138th Street, right? And I told her, flip the phone around. Let me see the area. Let me scan the room for, as she stepped in there. This is when iPhones first came out. Lord behold, I seen my baby mother. I said, who's that nigga with the Yankee, the New York fitted Yankee pushed down low? Lord behold, Luke Abrazi, my cousin. Y'all wanna hear what's crazy? I didn't know this was the beginning of a spiritual attack. You hear me? I really didn't give a fuck. I was up, paper straight. I wouldn't think about nothing. I wasn't thinking like that. If you got that pussy, you got that pussy. Why you couldn't tell me? And then you wanna hear what's funny, y'all? When I remembered this about a decade later, it all started to come when I woke up. It all came back. And I put out a PSA on Instagram, right? I said I got $1,000. I held it up. I said I got $1,000 for anybody who can give me information leading to which family member was fucking my baby mother. Erica, you know what's up. Let me explain something. They said I was bugging. They said I was smoking dust. They said I was a crackhead. They start telling lies on you, you know what I'm saying? Because they know they stole your blueprint. They know you the architect, and without you, it would be no them. They know that. But let me explain. It gets so crazy where I would have never thought that these two was in cahoots after me, you know what I'm saying? Not to kill me, not to remove me off the timeline, but to siphon my energy for their physical gain. Let's talk about it. Now, I know some of yous ain't been to Dubai, and I know some of yous have been to Dubai. But let me explain something to y'all. Soon as you get off the plane in Dubai, there's a sign, right? It says witchcraft, right? And it says, if you're caught using witchcraft to catapult your riches or your clout or whatever it is that you desire, right? You can be jailed and charged 50,000 Emirates. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's ponder that real fast. Why would there be a witchcraft sign as soon as you get off the plane in Dubai? Spelling, right, is done or manifested through the spelling of words, right? Sometimes you gotta focus on what they're not saying to actually receive what they're saying. Hustle man, what do you mean about that? Okay, let's elaborate. When God talks to you, if anybody watching this stream, leave a comment down below if God ever spoke to you. Leave a comment down below if the devil spoke to you and you thought it was God. Leave a comment down below if you had a voice speaking to you your whole life and you ain't know what that voice was. You didn't trust it like that. And leave a comment down below if you actually listened to that voice, that inner voice that was talking to you your whole life and it guided you to get where you at right now. Put that in the comment section. All right? Let's see who's really tapped in. All right? Let's see who's really, really, really prepared to remember who they really are. And I ain't talking about remembering your first girlfriend or remembering your best friend and his favorite color or remembering the first car you got with the first set of rims you had. We're not talking about that. We're talking about remembering your source code. All right? All right, we're going to do a little quiz real quick. Put it in the comment section if you remember the day you was born on. Not the date. Don't get to reciting your birth date to me. Hey, my birthday. No, the day. There's 7 days in a week, right? Which day were you dropped off on Earth's grid? What's the day? I want to know the day. Tell me the day. Because once you recite that day, let me show you what you do. When that day is recited, what's done is this. You now remember the time, the day you was dropped off on Earth's grid, which starts the connection of you remembering who you are. That's why you can't even remember the day, because you can't even remember who you are. And that's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. Try it. See where you end up. They say you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you came from. People are so focused on ancestors and this and that. It's time to focus on yourself. It's time to focus to see how far back you can remember your existence. Because let me explain something to y'all. Y'all died so many times. Y'all died so many times but can't even remember it. Ain't that something? Y'all died so many times but can't remember it. Listen, man. Put that in the comment section and let's talk about spiritual warfare. Let's get to that. Goodbye.